It's 7:40. Let's do this. Good evening, Hampton Roads in Northeast North Carolina. My name is David Aldrich, Chief Meteorologist of WTKR News 3 Television, and you are watching First Warning Live, sponsored by Marco's Pizza. I just want to know about the weather. You've come to the right place. I'm hungry. You've come to the right place. We're going to do that all. In fact, one of the cool things we're going to be doing is being able to put on the screen some free pizza. You know, we gave away 10 free pizza for the year last Thursday. We're doing it again this year. This week. We did, these were the 10 winners from last week. Oh, yes, we did. And we're going to give away more, but it requires some activity, some participation on your part to go to WTKR.com/Marcos. But I digress. Let's get to the weather because that's kind of why you're here, right? We want to talk about the weather because one thing you'll note as we look at this latest on the tropics, I don't want to ignore the yellow elephant in the room. David, I think it's supposed to be a pink elephant. Okay, 10% chance the Hurricane Center's concerned. X marks the spot. I see a spot here, and I do think it's concerning, right? Because this is not only off the coast of Florida, but it's directed with that arrow. Oh, it's an arrow that's drifted toward the Carolinas. So we have to reason to be concerned. It may not become tropical, it may not become subtropical, but if it becomes a rainmaker, wouldn't you want to know about it? So I'm going to give you the best intel I can give you. That's why I'm so happy to be back. I was actually off the last couple of days. I have a great reason to be excited about the weather because we had a beautiful day today. But I digress. Let's get back to those maps because at 10% we're going to ignore. We're going to come back to that. We're not going to ignore it. But if this happened to get a name, 10% is not that high. It would be Andrea. Well, where do you get that? Those are the predetermined names for this year, right? Every 6 years they recycle Andrea and Barry and Chantal. You'll see these names again in 2030, right? Or 2025. Or so what it was, for 2025 now, the 2024 names will be seen in 2030. These would be seen in 2031. It's so confusing. But we recycle them every 6 years for a reason. By the way, if you look at the weather headlines, there were a lot of people today out on the ocean front. Maybe you were one of them. But let's cover the headlines because that's key. I want to make sure we cover the things that interest you. Warm stretch ahead, several days in the 80s. That's what I'm expecting. And so when you look at these days that we've had, today was the warmest day in more than 2 weeks. Where are you getting that, Aldrich? Today's high was 80. We haven't hit 80 officially since May 19th. Oh, you did your homework. I sure did. That's kind of what I do. I like to do my homework so that you have some information. And then the humidity builds this week and early next week with showers and storms returning late next week. Does that help? I hope it does because we got a lot of ground to cover. It was kind of cool this morning. Let's be real. Some of you said it was chilly. It was 10 degrees cooler in Suffolk. Do I have my telestrator here? Let me see if I can telestrate it. Here's Suffolk, 46. And Norfolk, 56. What's 10 degrees among friends? I mean, let's face it, it was cool. Tomorrow morning we'll be in the 50s and 60s. Barely 61 for a low in Norfolk. So just want to throw that out there. If you were cool this morning, you felt like, I need a light jacket. It was 47 in Chesapeake. And our highs today came in at 80 degrees in Norfolk. That was the warmest day since May 19th. May 19th, 15 days ago, Virginia Beach hit 81 degrees. So I'm kind of curious to know what you saw, what you experienced, what you felt. Here's your chance to sound off because I would love to get your comments on the screen. If you have a comment, let me see them because I'd love to see you post them on the screen. Do my best to magnify your voice. This is your chance to put that comment on the screen. If I have all my ducks in order, I'm trying to get the comments on as I speak, kind of multitasking as it were. But if there are some comments, let me know. I would love to see them on the screen here. And then we'll just go ahead and put those comments. I'm going to put a hello here, see if my system is working. Hi there. And see if that comes in my system here. But I will say that the cool thing about the system is being able to interact with you. And that's what I want to do here. So if you have a comment, let me know. I'll do my best to keep moving forward. Yeah, I see there. So I can put you on the screen. It's not hard to do. It's just right there. So hi there. If you're on the call watching live, let me know. I'd like to magnify your voice. We can do that. It's not too difficult now that I've gotten the ducks of this software. By the way, 80 degrees today, that was the hottest since May 19th. It is technically below normal because the normal high is 82 this time of year. 82 degrees, that's it. So keep that in mind. I got a note from Philip. He has a comment he wants to share. Hey, David, with the rain and storms this weekend, is there any severe potential or would it be just tropical moisture? Right now, the expectation is not severe. But I do think we have the potential for some stronger storms maybe on Saturday from the cold front. So it's like a 1-2 punch. Great question, Philip. We'll get to that in more detail. But if I don't cover it, ask me again toward the end of this live stream. It is 7:45. It is time to get to the nuts and bolts. If you haven't heard, the participating contest locations for Marco's are on your screen. I point this out because you might be hungry right now. If you are wanting a free pizza, that's one large, one-topping pizza, once per month for the calendar year, right through next year, WTKR.com/Marcos. Just sign up. It's very easy to sign up, and many of you have done that already. I am a big fan of the Pozzoli. That's not a secret. The Magnifico is one of the examples that you could get a 1 pepperoni large magnificent pizza. But there's also a pizza certificate that we'll be giving 10 more of these away on Thursday. That's just 2 days from now. All you have to do is go to WTKR.com/Marcos. And I love this deal of the week. You had a last deal was 50% off. I know. One of my favorite things is the Pozzoli. And if you get a Pozzoli, $5 is like half off. I mean, it's sweet. And if you ask for the dipping sauce, they usually give it to you. You want marinara or some ranch, maybe some garlic. You can dip it in the pepperoni and sausage. That's my personal favorite, but they're all dynamite, fantastic, and wonderful. Check out the pepperoni, the chicken bacon ranch, buffalo chicken. All you have to do, is that really for real? It is for real. The promo code, are you ready for this, is WTKR David. I think that's cool. I think it's cool. Just type it in, you'll see it works, and you'll get a Pozzoli for $5. I'd say that's pretty sweet. Let's get back to the weather. Do you know right now it is 78 Portsmouth? I'm going to give a shout out to Portsmouth. If anybody's on here, I want to say hi to you. I got a note from Marilyn Bell. She's on here. She says it was hot here in East Tennessee. She's watching. It was 85. 80 here, 85 in Tennessee. We're kind of like partners. They're like canaries in the coal mine. When weather is in Knoxville like today, it comes here usually the next day. And so we are going to be warm. We'll be around 86 tomorrow, Maryland, so that's a good point. Wakefield right now is 81. Our friends in Kitty Hawk and Manio, currently 72 degrees. Isn't that nice? Very comfortable. Tomorrow morning, though, Cape Charles, you should drop to 65. Virginia Beach, about 61. And Duck, about 65. Looking for lows in the upper 50s for Smithfield, Chesapeake, Moyock 56, Cortland about 54 degrees for tomorrow morning's lows. Hope that helps. Currently we're at 85 in Knoxville. As Marilyn just pointed out, that matches the McGee-Tyson Airport number there. 74 Virginia Beach, DC's at 74, and our friends in the Big Apple at 68. Dew points are going to be coming up later on this week. They're kind of tame by June standards. When they're upper 40s in Beckley, low 50s in Virginia Beach, it's not that sticky, at least not yet. And you can almost see the seesaw pattern here. To come back on camera, cold here, hot here, right? See if we do this again. Cold here, hot here. And then we come back over here. See, cold here, hot here. How many cameras do you have here? I guess I got a few, right? Just want to keep moving, and that's what keeps me attentive to what we're looking at. Well, look at those temperatures. Very hot. New Orleans, 87. 92 San Antonio, while it's 62 in Rapid City, South Dakota. All right, so the big picture, let's expand the view. Here we have clouds that are building from the disturbed weather over Florida. It's already showing up in South Carolina. And the Hurricane Center, as we discussed right off the top of this live stream, he is under a 10% chance of development, either tropical storm name or a subtropical storm where the winds are not as concentric, where the winds aren't as concise or concentric around the center of circulation. High pressure, though, I like to call big bubble no trouble. We've got clear skies tonight while they're still dealing with severe weather, and looks like tornado warnings now in parts of western sections of Illinois. That's what those red markings there would suggest. So as I mentioned, 10% chance for something to develop. What do you think? What are you excited about? Let me know. I got Denmark on here. He says delicious. I had a Pozzoli. They are fantastic. I can't emphasize enough. Try it out. I mean, as much as people go to drive-through, you can save some money with the WTKR David promo code. And then, hey David, with the rainstorms we talked about, Philip, we're going to see if Saturday might have some potential for severity. I think, Philip, we want to watch that as we get closer to the weekend. It is only Tuesday. So let me get you out the door tomorrow. We've already covered the morning lows. By 8 o'clock, under full sunshine, we should be around 69 degrees in most areas in Hampton Roads. By noontime, you'll be flirting with 81. I'm sure your car thermometer would suggest 81 degrees and should finish the day around 86. So think about it. 86 degrees is 5 degrees, 6 degrees warmer than today, and we haven't been above 80 in 15 days, in more than 2 weeks. So it's been a while. There's no question about that. Then more clouds gather at 8 o'clock tomorrow night. Sun's down at 8:21 tomorrow. It goes down at 8:20 tonight. So we're about a half hour away from sunset this evening, and wind should be about 5 to 15. So if you're keeping score, Here's where I expect to be the next 5 days. Friday has the potential where we don't get out of the 70s. Say that again. Friday may struggle to get out of the 70s because of the southern system in Florida. It moves here, at least tries to move off the coast of the Outer Banks. And then the warm-up ahead of the front comes in on Saturday. I think we're at 88, and then settle back down to about 83 on Sunday. Now, I know this looks high, 60% chance on Friday. Mainly right now seems like it's a morning issue. This looks like it's mainly morning. This looks like it's mainly afternoon. So that means if this is mainly morning, your Friday night plans, A-okay. And your Saturday morning plans look good. But then Saturday night, not so good, because we could have some stronger storms, maybe severe, as Philip was wondering about. But I think on Sunday, it's muted. The chance of storms on Sunday go down to spotty. Spotty rain on Sunday. That means this Sunday could be as delightful as last Sunday. Last Sunday, I was bragging about, hey, Sunday's going to be great. Sunday's going to be great. You got to check out Sunday. And some of you did, and some of you did not. But it was 72 degrees yesterday, 75 on Saturday. So actually 72 yesterday, 75 Sunday, and 79 Saturday. So there was very little wind last Sunday, just for those who were keeping score. Rainfall forecast shows the rain trying to move up to the south. This takes us through 11 o'clock Saturday. That over inch may occur in the Outer Banks from the Florida maker. And then the 1.2 there in Southside is mainly from the front. It comes in from Richmond on Saturday afternoon. So the way things are trending is that we're going to get some sizable rain, no doubt. By the way, the heaviest of rains may very well be in Norfolk, Nags Head, and Richmond between now and 11 o'clock on Saturday. If you got a comment, let me know. I want to check in with my other Facebook page, which is mine. If you got a comment, would love to say hi to you. Let me know. I'll do my best to put your voice, or at least mention you on the screen here, so we can carry the conversation one step further, because the whole purpose of this was to keep it interactive, and I want to be able to know what you're thinking, seeing, or feeling here on a Tuesday, the 3rd of June. It is still the 3rd of June, I last checked. Got a couple of comments here. Let me come back on camera here. I see Marie Johnson says, we've had rain and thunder this weekend. You haven't been alone, Marie. Thank you for that. Greg LaRouche says, hi, David. I see Greg on here. Fred Winchenbach says, good evening from Maryville, Tennessee. Great to have him here. And Robin Cardwell Kelly is watching, so happy to have her here as well. So again, we're just trying to kind of cover the basis as far as the rain situation between now and the upcoming weekend. I don't expect much on Sunday. By the way, smoke has made some national news, the wildfire smoke. Just to give you orientation, you're looking at the Great Lakes, and the center of your screen here is Minneapolis. So where you see red is a lot of surface smoke coming in from wildfires in Canada, and it's been coming down into Wisconsin. Some of you are from Wisconsin. You understand smoke from Canada sometimes happens. This is what's happening through 2 a.m. and the time frame is modeled out for you. But a lot of that may be muted, tries to come down into West Virginia, Pennsylvania. Virginia Beach, maybe not so much, but there will be a hint of smoke that would appear between the now and the next 24 hours or so. But we go back to the satellite and radar picture as it's now 7:53. Want to show you what we're seeing in terms of severe weather. Clearly there's some concern for tornadoes in red. That would be in parts of Illinois. We have a lot of folks in the military. If you're from Illinois, it would appear that the tornado warning right now is covering quite a few counties from Mercer, Rock Island, and Scott. These are central times, mind you. So when it says valid till 7:15, what they mean is 7:15 central. There's a tornado warning for Henderson, Henry, Mercer, Warren, as well as Henderson, Mercer until 7 o'clock. So multiple tornado warnings going on here. There's some in Missouri and there's some in Oklahoma. But clearly, because of high pressure and its influence here, we hardly, and I say hardly, have a cloud in the sky. Ooh, I got a note from John. We got a hello. Say hi to John. John's a good friend. What is the Harbor Fest forecast for this Saturday? I have learned from my co-anchor Jessica and Anthony Sabella, I might add. Harbor Fest is way bigger because I asked the question, John. I said, how would you compare Harbor Fest to the Norfolk Wine Festival? They said, oh, well, this is free. Harbor Fest is free. People come from all over to see the Maritime. It's like a big deal. And so I expect rain in the morning on Friday, big break Friday afternoon. So if you're going to go on Friday, the later the afternoon or evening you go, the better. And on Saturday, the earlier you get there, because I think the afternoon storms might be an issue. Does that help? So Harbor Fest is a plus. Go, absolutely. It's free. It's a great event. Take the whole family. People come from far and wide to Harborfest. That's this Saturday. I think you'll find it better in the morning than the latter part of the afternoon because you might have to run for cover, and that may very well be what some of you have to do this upcoming weekend. And they're running for cover, I would imagine, in the Midwest from Illinois back across sections of Missouri. Another look at the satellite radar pictures. We come back to the ocean front. Sun's up tomorrow at 7, could be 5:46, so I don't know where I got 7. 5:46. Sun's up tomorrow morning, goes to bed at 8:21. I think we covered that. Also, it's very important, speaking of download free things, News 3's First Warning Weather app is available at WTKR.com/apps. It's always good to have multiple sources for information. The News 3 First Warning Weather app, along with having a NOAA weather radio, can keep you informed and keep the notifications flowing when severe weather is in fact breaking. All right, let's get to the Eastern Shore, Virginia forecast. 80 degrees tomorrow for Bloxham. Onancock should be around 78 tomorrow. Saxis about 81. Cape Charles should be in the mid-70s tomorrow. UV index is very high, which means you can burn in about 15, 20 minutes or less. Make sure you wear plenty of sunscreen. Nags Head, 78. 77 Manio, Duck 75, Kill Devil's Hill 77, and Rodanthe should be around 77 tomorrow. Very high UV index, Hatteras 77, and Ocracoke at 78 degrees. Have I mentioned there's a contest going on today? I mean, I don't know about you. I'm getting hungry just thinking about it, but there are 5 convenient locations with phone numbers on the screen, mind you. 3 in Virginia Beach, 1 in Chesapeake, that's the Greenbrier area, and Norfolk on Hampton Boulevard. If you were to sign up at WTKR.com/Marcos, you would be eligible to win large one topping pizza per month, once a month. Like, this would be so cool. And there are 10 of our viewers who now have the certificate. It was mailed last week. So chances are these people on the screen here that you might know, Tanya, Angie, Matthew, Brittany, Mark, John, Sonia, Bob, William, and Chandra, they all have the certificate, so they're enjoying a free pizza for June. They'll get another one in July. They'll get another one in August. Oh, I can't ever win. Well, even if you don't win this Thursday, you can enjoy the $5 Pozzoli by simply typing in the promo code WTKR David, because, well, look, I'll be honest with you, I love the Pozzoli. I love the pepperoni and sausage, but you may prefer the chicken bacon ranch, and they are a lot bigger than the picture would illustrate. Make sure you get the dipping sauce that you like, whether it be marinara, ranch, garlic, or what have you. I think you'll love it. It is the deal of the week. We're here to save you some money as well as get to the weather. I mentioned Ocracoke 78, Hatteras 77. Let's get to the Storm Prediction Center because these pictures, Philip, I know you had that question earlier. These pictures can be very illustrative as to where the Storm Prediction Center thinks severe weather is at this stage. Now keep in mind, we use the colors dark green for isolated. That's level 1. We use the yellow for slight, which scattered severe storms, and anything that might be orange is numerous. We don't typically see the red or purple very often. It's pretty rare to have widespread, but it happens usually in months of March, April, and May when severe weather season's at its peak. But this is the rest of tonight, right? This carries us, the Storm Prediction Center, right through 8 o'clock tomorrow morning because it's for Tuesday till about 12Z Wednesday, which is 8 a.m. Everything's counted in Zulu time for the weather, so everybody's on the same clock. So this is really 8 o'clock through 8 o'clock tomorrow morning. Dallas, San Angelo, for our military friends who might have family in Texas, Oklahoma City. There's going to be severe weather isolated in Chicago and Green Bay, possibly tonight through tomorrow. We've already seen it breaking out in parts of western Illinois, so this kind of falls in line with that mindset. Notice that there's nothing here down to the deep south, even though there's unsettled weather in Florida, and you can see there's nothing going on Tuesday here locally in Hampton Roads. By the way, it's 7:59. My goal is to be done as close to be on time as I can. Notice that there's severe weather potential tomorrow for Amarillo, a good part of New Mexico, and parts of West Texas and Colorado, and there could be severe weather, isolated as it may be, for Detroit, Fort Wayne, and Champaign, Urbana, and Illinois. Meanwhile, severe weather threat here is a 0. And even though Thursday, by that point, the disturbed weather in Florida should be moving northward, there's no coloring here. So the Storm Prediction Center either A, doesn't really think it's that much to get excited about, or they think it's further out to sea. One of two options could be at play here. But Thursday, the chance for severe weather is in the northern panhandle of Texas, panhandle of Oklahoma, Amarillo, Oklahoma for scattered severe storms. We could include areas just north of Little Rock and Springfield could have some isolated severe storms, as could New England. From Maine, Portland, back toward Vermont, Albany, New York, and Binghamton. Some areas southeast of Syracuse could have some isolated severe storms on Thursday, but Thursday, nothing in the southeast, despite the fact we've got some rain advancing from the north. So it is now 8 o'clock straight up. I got to get through the futurecast and get back to your questions, and also want to promote the Marco's item that we have, the promo code WTKR David. This is what we're seeing tonight. Nothing, right? Midday, mostly sunny. Some high, thin cirrus clouds should appear, but by the time we hit 11 o'clock tomorrow evening, a lot of what we're seeing are these high, thin clouds. So basically what we're looking at is an increase in cloud cover tomorrow night, but it's dry. There's nothing coming from those clouds, at least not yet. That's 11 o'clock. Tomorrow morning, I should say Thursday morning, we're now on to Thursday. The winds are light. It's mostly cloudy, but still dry. I'm looking at places like, I guess, Ahoskie. By 4 o'clock Thursday afternoon, there could be some rain. This is the rain that's over Florida right now. So the low associated with has a 10% chance of getting a name, which is not very high. But if it moves out to sea, it's still going to produce some rain in the Outer Banks. May not see it at 8, but boy, you see it by 11 o'clock Thursday, don't you? You see it in Elizabeth City, you see it in Rodanthe, you see it in Duck, and you see it in Ahoskie. And my thought is this: we're going to see one of two things. Thursday night, that's 11, it's all going to come up. So this should be out of here Friday morning and then out. And then it's going to open the door for the cold front to come in on Saturday afternoon. Does that make sense? Hopefully that helps you with your Harbor Fest plans and whatever outdoor activities you might have planned. It'll be improving, I think, Friday night, only to lock and reload as we head into Saturday afternoon with the approaching cold front. And this is what the cold front's going to do. Notice by the time we hit 4 p.m. Saturday, as the timestamp at the top right would suggest, it starts to fill in with more green. The low might be sliding off the coast, which it will, but the rain associated with the cold front will come down from Richmond and slide into a neighborhood near you and near me. But by 5:30 Sunday, it seems to be improved. Looks pretty good to me. Hopefully it's good to you as well. Here's your Wednesday morning forecast. Again, we've already covered 50s for inland Virginia, but south side generally about 61. 62 peninsulas, 60 North Carolina with a sunny start. Tomorrow afternoon, how about 85 in Portsmouth? That's going to be the warmest day since early May. Ooh, 78 Virginia Beach. Northeast wind anytime is going to cool down some of the areas along the water. Duck 75, but 86 for Suffolk and Franklin. I think it's 86 for Norfolk, 83 for Moyock, and Chesapeake at 85 degrees. Wednesday afternoon, we should be in the low to mid 80s from south side peninsulas, and North Carolina should be also in the mid 80s. Here's your first warning. WTKR News 3 7-day forecast, 84 Thursday, 80 on Friday. And then those PM showers and storms on Saturday will characterize pretty much the latter part of the afternoon before we see some vast improvement on Sunday. And it looks like we could see another round of showers, if not early next week. Probably a better bet on Tuesday versus Monday. Again, that's days 6 and 7. And you know and I know a lot can change. By the way, I've been doing these things called the spotlights. And I plan to do one on Sunday, this Sunday, and I'm leaning toward the Outer Banks. If you have some suggestions, let me know in the comments section. I'll do my best to magnify your voice. But I've done what I call my 7 cities of Hampton Roads, although I know what the real ones are. I mean, the big ones. These are the smaller towns that I think deserve just as much recognition. And I'll be going to the Outer Banks to kind of take some great photographs and carry this down to number 8. So number 8, kind of give you a little tip, will be likely there. By the way, if you haven't figured this out, we got a special certificate to give away. You could have your name on this certificate. It's very easy. 10 lucky winners will be announced this Thursday on First Morning Live. You'll basically get one large, one topping pizza for a month. This Pozzoli, which is kind of like a cool lunch item. I think it's cool. You could get a special deal on that. It's about half price, $5. Just use the promo code WTKR David. I think you'll be impressed with it. As I am, they're very tasty. And in this day and age, saving some money can go a long way with the household. As we mentioned, the forecast, 80 on Friday. Be lucky to get out of the 70s on that day. Warmest day of the week appears to be Saturday at 88. Now, it is 8:04. I wanted to finish up as close to on time as I can. Sunset last night in Onancock. I thought I would end with some happy shots. Love those happy shots. This is from Joan Johnson just a night ago. This is what it looked like there on the eastern shore. Storm clouds from this past weekend from Oscar, Virginia Beach. Love it. Love being able to see these pictures. This is from our WTKR Photographers Facebook group, and many of them are very skilled with the camera, as you can see. And the last one here, Saturday's sunrise in Matthews County. Yes, it has one T, Matthews County. Charles Powers captured this, and with the sun rising in the east, you're kind of, I would assume, looking at the Chesapeake Bay, but a beautiful picture from Charles. Thank you so much for sharing that with us as well. Just want to remind you the forecast here on your screen. Don't forget to sign up to WTKR .com/Marco so we can give away some free pizza. We did 10 of winners last week. We're going to do 10 winners on this Thursday, so very excited about that. And as I come back on camera, just want to remind you, remember, it doesn't matter if the weather is sunny or if it's serious. Every day is a gift. Every day is a gift, so make the most of it in your neighborhood. We'll see you here tomorrow. Take care.